Self-myofascial release, a hot topic that you guys have been requesting for a long time, and now finally here. I want to welcome you guys to these new formatted educational videos that we'll make for Swimming World magazine once a month, where we are making swimmers faster inside the water with training done outside the water, ranging from strength training tips to recovery tips like in this video. My name is Deniz Hekmati and I will be bringing you guys these videos. I'm your sports scientist and strength coach, and welcome to this first episode. Now, before I go any further, I want to disclose that I'm not a physical therapist and I'm not an athletic trainer who are actually experts in this myofascial release techniques. I simply respect that the body works in mysterious and unique ways, and that you have the utmost control of your body to explore and experiment with it. Now, what is the fascia? The fascia is simply a connective tissue sheet surrounding the muscles and organs, and is essentially in between the muscles and the skin. As the body develops, fascia tends to get a little bit tighter. Similarly, if we're exposed to an injury, fascia tends to get a little bit tighter to protect the area. And most noticeably, if we are palpating with our hands and it gets tender on the skin or on the muscles, especially if we're grabbing the skin, that's when we know that the fascia is a little bit tender or tight. Why do we do this? Well, it's really to enhance the mobility or the function of the fascia. And suspectedly, this is where range of motions tend to start gets limiting. If the fascia is getting neglected, we're not paying attention to it, our range of motion tends to actually get a little bit hindered here. For performance, there is actually not much research to show that it increases direct performance, but it seems to have some effect on post-performance recovery. So after practice, we tend to feel a little bit more fresh and we tend to recover a little quicker in between practices. So it is fair to assume if we do self-myofascial release techniques over prolonged periods of time, then we might be able to actually bring more intensity in our workouts to then get a little bit better. The athletes that this is suited for the most would be immobile athletes or athletes who are actually exposed to some injuries. Athletes who have no issues whatsoever typically have not much issues with their fascia and then continue to just scan through the body and make sure that the body is still functioning. If you have an injury or have had an injury, revisit that area, palpate on the skin, or even grab onto the skin to see if there's something still going on. How do we use self-myofascial release techniques? The foam roll is a really popular tool, mobility balls also, massage therapists as well, but one of the most overlooked areas I think is our own hands, and we can use our hands to palpate to then feel how our body is feeling. A few problems arise when we see self-myofascial techniques being used. First, I don't see many people being fully warmed up, especially in the morning if we haven't done anything during the day. If we have done some work in the water and been on our feet throughout the day, it is okay to start releasing a little bit at night. However, if you wake up in the morning, make sure we get some good movement for 3 to 5 minutes to get some temperature up and the muscles being a little bit more engaged before we're actually going in to target the fascia. Next, I don't see many people actually digging into the pain. As soon as it gets a little painful, we get a little shy and tend to move away from the area. Once we find that spot, we have to dig in a little bit more. I also don't see enough of this being used before an actual weight training session. If you are an immobile swimmer, spending 3 to 5 to 10 minutes actually will help you get through some better ranges in the weight room, get more familiar with positions, and to reduce your risk of injury. The last thing here, the problem, is that it gets costly to go see a physical therapist or a athletic trainer or a massage therapist on a continuous basis. So if you are one of those people, get a foam roll, get a mobility ball, or start using your hands a little bit more seriously. Let's talk solutions. If you are wanting to mobilize or do some self-myofascial techniques in the morning and you're not warmed up, you have to warm up. If it's after practice, you're good to go. I'm going to encourage you to grab onto your skin in sensitive areas. If you've had an injury in the past or you're feeling a little extra sore, grab onto your skin and see how it's feeling. If you're able to grab on with a firm grip and pull and tug a little bit, that area actually is doing okay. If you are really tender and really sensitive, something is actually going on here. And this is the first way to start exploring your body to see where you would need to release a little bit more. But remember, releasing is not gonna do all of it for you. If you find a completely new area that is really tight or tender, that is an area that also needs strengthening. So loosen the fascia and then strengthen it up afterwards. If you are on a muscle or on a really tender spot, like I said, we tend to move away from it, but take a deep breath in, and with the next exhale, sink down a little bit deeper into the ball or to the given area, or if you are palpating or pinching yourself, take a deep breath and push a little bit harder. This way, you're going to give the muscles a little bit more breathing room and also create a different relationship from the brain to the muscles of how to engage that muscle a little bit better. And like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't seem to have a direct and immediate effect on performance. However, it's more so after the practice and the cumulative time that you would see you recovering in between practices, so you can keep pushing and bring more efforts in practice. Before I sign you guys off, I want to give you guys 3 major or underestimated areas where the fascia tends to get a little bit extra tight for swimmers. Now, if these areas are not tight for you, don't worry about it. You're in a good spot. Keep on doing what you're doing. The first spot is the feet. I want you to grab a ball or 2 balls, any kind of mobility ball that you have, and put pressure on it with your feet. And you can even create more pressure by leaning onto your leg with your arms and start rolling around your foot to see if you have some tender areas. As you are rolling, make sure you are actually flexing your toes up and down to contract as much as you can to really feel the muscles engaging. If you're coming into a little cramping sensation, these muscles probably are a little damaged down here. So give yourself a little bit more love so we can get more blood flow, a little bit more oxygen down to our feet. My wife does bar classes and she does use these lighter weights for many of her exercises, but I have truly found the real purpose for this, and it is to loosen up the fascia in our feet. So place this on the ground and gently put your foot on it and walk over this. Slide it side to side and put your foot in different positions. And I found my right foot especially being overly tight and overly tender in where I also have my back issues. So it seems like my issues in my back stems all the way down to my foot. So scan around your feet. Are both the same or is one worse? The next muscle is the subscapularis. The fascia and this muscle tends to get really tight, and it's literally up top on the armpit, closer to the outside. And if you're grabbing with your thumb, you might be able to find a little harder knot. And if I'm bringing my arm down and digging my thumb up, I am really feeling something sensitive here, and it's kind of a burning sensation. Now, if I'm holding this here and I'm gently just lifting my arm up, oof, I am feeling that one. And my left side is where I'm a little bit more damaged from college, and it's not just here, it goes all the way up and around behind my deltoid, posterior deltoid, teres minor. Things on my left side is just a little bit more tender versus my right. I don't really feel it as much. This side is just overly tight, don't feel as much pinchiness. But if you are going through your muscles, you will come down to your lats and you'll dig into your scapula even, you'll find more information. So dig around, don't be shy, because it's a little awkward with a foam roll, awkward with a mobility ball to dig into the subscapularis. So if you're just digging around on your own here a little bit, that is completely fine. Just have fun experimenting. The last one I'm going to give you guys here is pectoralis minor. So we have the major pec major, and the pec minor muscle that goes through down right here. And for swimmers that have shoulder pain, pec minor has actually been shown to be shorter in those athletes. So with your fingers, let's see if we can dig in and see if something is going on. And obviously this is a little awkward for many people, but you just remember that this is your own body, and oof, already in the attachment right here, I am feeling something really tender. And now I'm going to just move my arm up and bring it back down and keep rolling in and out, and even palpate down towards the area. And I'm feeling that little slide, or the little area of my pec minor is still staying tender. Again, on my right side, I don't have anything going on except it being a little chunkier and just a little bit more tight, but no real pinchiness going on. So whatever area you find, I'm encouraging you to palpate, find the area. If you find something that is really, really tender, something is going on, and you might end up surprising yourself here of where you find some tension. Another big area of tension for swimmers are the IT bands. IT bands tend to get really tight. So again, go ahead and roll everything out from IT bands to the quads, all the way up to your lats, guys. I hope you like this one. That was self-myofascial release, and I hope you can take something concrete out of this video and apply it immediately to recover and make yourself a little bit more durable athlete. I want to come out here and announce October 31st, we have been working diligently on writing a strength book for our swimming community. It's called Foundations of Strength Training for Swimmers, and it will bring you concrete solutions to major pain points for coaches, swimmers, and parents. Literally anyone that wants to know how to make a swimmer faster outside of the pool to be faster inside of the pool, this book will really be for you. If you like this video and you want to see more of this, comment what you would like to see. Like, share, and subscribe to the Swimming World Magazine channel, and it'll bring you much more fun content.